What a roller coaster ride this has been. Welcome to the Jim of All Trades channel. Glad you're here on this Friday. It is Friday, June the 21st, 2019. Glad you're with me. Sorry for the late update today, guys. I just had a late night trading last night and been pretty busy today working and just haven't had a chance to get the video. Wanted to let the market do what it's going to do so I can give you some updates. It really wasn't doing anything different than we saw. Bitcoin has taken off. We want to look at Bitcoin today. We want to look at Litecoin, see what I've got a couple different charts, a couple different scenarios as well to look at with Litecoin just to be prepared. Yeah, glad you're with me. I hope you'll stay with me through the video just so we can see what's going on. Okay, let's take a look at Bitcoin first just to kind of see what Mom is doing. Right now, I have a, let me go out to the 8-hour chart. Looking at that, it's a beautiful thing. If you're wondering if the bear market is over, it is. I don't know any count that would substantiate a move like this to the upside. That's good news. Excuse me. Um, that being said, it looks like we may be finishing this wave, and I want to just take a peek at it and entertain that for a moment. Okay, when I do a wave count, I put the fibs on the 1, 2, and you can see the Fibonacci's there as well. And I also did a wave count. We got a 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Looks like the fifth wave is done. Excuse me, the fifth wave of the third is done, and this looks like a good completed fifth wave, or really close to complete. That's what I'm thinking. This is the fifth. That's what I've been thinking for a while now. This is the fifth wave, and looks like we're really close to done. Bitcoin. You can just kind of see a nice delineation of 5 waves in the fifth. Let me go to the 4-hour chart and zoom in a little bit, and you can look at this fifth wave, and I'll show you what I'm talking about. Right there, you can kind of really see it. Let me get a nice color here. How about red? That's easy to see. We've got a 1, a 2, a good 3 right there, 4, and 5. That looks like it's finished to me. Let's see, let me take a peek at that. That might be 4 right there. Yeah, that's hard to tell where the 4 is exactly right there. So yeah, this is the big question mark. Where is this going to end? But man, that looks so proportional just like it is, but we got to be careful there because just when I think it's proportional, man, this fifth wave just keeps extending and extending. It is going in to the vertical, and you can see when waves get to vertical, they need to come down and go sideways for a little bit before they can move on. So we should be expecting at some point some kind of a sideways movement. We may get another push to the upside before that, but we haven't busted 10,000 yet on Coinbase, so we're still trying to do that. It looks like it looks like the way price is oscillating up here, we are going to bust through 10,000. But what I find interesting is that Litecoin is not moving in conjunction with Bitcoin. It's not moving to the upside, and this happened before. This happened before when Litecoin was in the wave 4. Let me see if I can find my wave 4 chart. There it is. So when we were in this wave right here, this wave 4, we were correcting and on our way down, while Bitcoin, on the other hand, was kind of doing an upward move, in a slow oscillating upward move in this at the same token. So that's kind of what's going on now. We've got some corrective action going on right now sideways, while Bitcoin is going up. So that's kind of the comparison right now. And I think what's going to happen is once Bitcoin is finished, Litecoin will follow suit, or the alts will take over, or there might just be a correction, a very swift correction, not the slow sideways stuff. So yeah, that's what we're looking at with Bitcoin. This looks fairly finished. 5 waves. Let's see what the market gives us. But man, I'm looking at a potentially finished large wave, and we're ready for a large correction, and potentially. But just when everybody thinks that's going to happen, it could go up some more. So be mindful of that. Okay. All right. Now, just looking at the chart here, you can see that right now, as it sits right now in the 4-hour, we have divergence. We've got bearish divergence here. We've got this is still Bitcoin. We've got price moving to the upside, while the RSI strength of the move is moving to the downside. So now that can be wiped out with a very strong move to the upside. So if we have a very strong move to the upside, that would take this RSI higher as well, and that divergence would be wiped out. So we want to be careful there. We only have 37 minutes till this candle is closed. And so that may give us a little bit of a downward push as well. So we'll watch and wait and see what happens there. But yeah, we've got this divergence here on the 4-hour. It's looking like it's poised to make a correction here. Let's go to the 1-hour on Bitcoin, see if there's the same kind of divergence. You do see the divergence happening here as well on the 1-hour. You've got the widespread divergence here from the 4-hour, but then you also have this divergence right here, where while you have price going down, or RSI going down while price is heading up right there. So we have some divergence there as well. One might argue that this is actually hidden bullish divergence, because the RSI would seem to be resetting for another push to the upside. So that may take place as well. Let's be mindful of that. All right, it's the middle of the afternoon. There's something about making these videos brings yawns. Okay, let me get some oxygen to the brain and keep going. All right, so that's kind of Bitcoin. It's exciting, but yeah, I'm not trading Bitcoin. I pretty much exclusively trade Litecoin for the most part. But I do chart Bitcoin, and I try to give some signals there as well. I did signal this move. I said a while back, if you missed the Litecoin moves, that Bitcoin hadn't moved yet, and it was down here at this 8,000. No, it was not here. It was actually way down here. When I called it several videos ago, I said, yeah, if you haven't, we were down here making this move right here. And I said Bitcoin's poised to go up, and Bitcoin hadn't made its move yet. And so if you missed the Litecoin move, you might want to jump in on Bitcoin. So I hope some of you got in on that. If you missed the Litecoin move, well, let's check out Litecoin and see what's going on there. That's my baby there. So let's take a peek. Let's go out to now. I've been questioning my count here. I've been reevaluating my count and say, okay, is there any other way to count this? And I've been kicking around the notion that if Bitcoin is close to done, that means Litecoin needs to be close to done if it's not done already. If that's the case, then it could already be done. And this sideways movement is just a flat two wave, which is rare, but it doesn't look right to me to be that. So it looks like we need to go down and then up, or up from here, but it looks like we need some more upside. Whether we get more downside first, I'm not sure. But man, it looks like we need more upside to finish it out. So I'm kind of looking for that as a potential. I didn't count the wave. It's super hard. We got a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Looks like we need a 9 and then a finish. To be an extended fifth wave, a lot of times you have 7, 9, or 11 peaks, and we've got many peaks here, and this is just an extended wave. Hard to count there. It's hard to be it's hard to really know where that count should land. I've been having a hard time with it personally. I've been operating on that other count, up to, hoping we're going up to 155. We still might head up to 155, but I can't be certain of that. Let me just do some measuring and see. So if this is the one wave right here, where would that put our 3 wave? So this is 1, 2, 3, 4. I mean, that's just the proportionality of that is just so off. I just don't like it for whatever reason. I just don't like how disproportionate that is. There's a potential that this whole thing, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, is a one wave followed by the 2, and this is kind of what I've been operating on because it just looks better. But that's an awful big one wave for a fifth wave, and so we got to keep that in mind as well. But here is a 1, 2. That would put the 3 um, still being put in up here. So that's where I get that. So we got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, or we got 1, 2, 3. This is the 4 wave and the 5 wave of the 3. So that's my count. I'm really struggling there. It's really challenging. This wave is just boom, 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 boom. It's just up, 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 up. So really challenging wave to count. Not sure. We're just gonna have to wait and see what's going on. So with that being said, let's zoom in here and just take a peek at what is going on the 4-hour chart here in this wave. You can see that we've come up here in a motive and we're kind of going sideways. It really resonates of a 4 wave. Okay, this really resonates like a 4 wave the way it's acting. So I think that may be a safe way to count it. That means we've got one more push to the upside. Still looking at that 155 target as a potential. But we may have more downside before we get that 155. Let's zoom in even closer. Now this, I do have a triangle drawn here. I don't think it's a triangle. I just have trend lines drawn there. So uh, so yeah, don't pay too much attention to the technicality there. This is not a triangle. It doesn't have the wave count of a triangle. It actually has. This is very 5 wave-ish right here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. If I go down to the 1 hour, it's easier to see. Um, there we go. It could be a 3 wave-ish A, B, and a C there. This is, this is very 3 wave-ish. This is 5 wave-ish. It's or 3. It's really hard to tell. A, B, C. Yeah, it's 3 wave-ish there. So everything's 3 wave-ish. So I mean, it has the makings of a triangle for sure, but just it's just hard to see it. This could be a 1 wave, and that's what I've been counting up to this point, followed by a 2 wave, and this is a 1, 2 of the next degree of the 3rd wave of this 5th wave going up. So there's lots of ways to count that. Do we have any more downside to go? Well, we certainly have a lot of sideways movement and a lot of threatening of the downside. Let's zoom in even closer and look at the current wave and see what we have going on there. All right, so this wave right here is super. This one, what we might call a 1 wave. Um, Actually, this is the 1 followed by the 2, and then we might call this a 1 and a 2. It's really super hard to count because um, it's just this structure right here. This brought a lot of fake. This is a fake out and brought a lot of people into the market there, and then they just tanked it. It screwed people up, and then it oscillated its way back up. Excuse me, and then it's just been oscillating up and down, up and down, up and down with a lot of sideways movement, and so not sure exactly what's going on here. This wave is a challenge to count. But this could be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and this is an A, B. It looks like we got a C coming down. So this either this whole thing is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and this is a diagonal because this 4 overlaps this 1, or the 1's down here. It's hard to tell. It's just this is such ugly structure. I can't even count it, guys. I don't even know how to count it. But just looking at what we have right here in the immediate term, I'm just trying to give you some ideas about what might be being made here, what might be being printed out. Lot of oscillation in here, a lot of oscillation in price. But you can kind of see that we have an A, B, and a C right there. And then we've come up for same kind of a structure there. It's very 3 wave-ish there. So I want to say this is ABC as well, which means we need to come down for another 5 waves, most likely. So chances are we're going to come down to this area before up, but that's not a guarantee. If it comes down, let's talk about what that might look like. Let me go back to the 15-minute chart to measure that. If it comes down and stops, what would that be? Looks like we're going to hit about 132 to 130. One. So not sure about that. We'll have to watch and see what's going to happen there. So that's if it's corrective and then it goes on up. That would be a large one followed by a two wave, and then we'd be going up. Okay, so that's a potential. The other potential is that we are dealing with a one wave to the downside, and if that's the case, we've got a lot of downside to go. So this might be a 1 followed by a 2 wave, and that's an odd shape for sure to be a 2 wave. I don't think that this is a plausible scenario, to be honest with you. But one never knows. Okay, so then we might be coming down for 3, 4, 5. Nice, very large correction if we're going to get the Big Dipper coming soon. So anyway, I just want you to be prepared for that. So what are we looking for? Well, if if I'm correct about the wave shape, we should be looking for a correction down to the 132 mark, around that mark, in that ballpark, 132.50. Yeah, if we don't get that correction, we're just going to go on and head up. From there, what would be the target from there? We're still looking at that 155 mark as the finality of the third wave. Then we'll have a fourth wave correction, and then another fifth wave up to 180. So what would that look like in the big picture? Basically, this would be the subcount of the fifth wave. This would be 1, 2. We'd be going up here to finish this third wave. Then we'd come down for the fourth wave, and then we'd be going up to finish it out. So yeah, that's what we're looking at for Litecoin long term, if this count is right. Now, if it's not, then this is finished. Then we got downside to go, and we'd be looking for something like this. If this wave is finished, we'd be looking for something like this: A, B, C, something like that. Large and proportional. Okay, let's go out to the 8-hour and let you see that. Okay. So it may be that big. It might be a little bit more shallow. I'm not sure about that, but if this is a 5-wave structure that's finished, we're looking for an ABC to follow. Okay, all right. Well, there's your update for Litecoin and Bitcoin today. Be aware that there are both counts that go to the downside as well as counts to the upside. The only way to play that is just to, if you're not in the market, just to stay out and watch what happens. If you get a pullback with the bounce, you might enter on the bottom of those bounces. Don't forget that's always a good place to enter and take a chance. And then your stop loss is underneath that the bottom of the last bounce. So you might want to look at that. But if you're already in, just put your stop at break even and let the trade go and see what happens. All right. If you have any questions, leave the questions in the comment section. I'd be glad to help you. And I hope you guys have a fantastic weekend. I'll bring another video tomorrow. But in the meantime, you guys stay safe and keep an eye on price. Talk to you later.